Good morning, students. Today we'll start the new chapter, that is the excretory system of the animals. In that we will discuss about in details. First of all, see the excretion. What is excretion? Why excretion is necessary? Cells, to stay alive, they must continually intake water and other molecules. The cells would continue to get bigger and bigger if they only took molecules. They must also excrete molecules such as hormones or glucose, or they may be waste products like carbon dioxide or ammonia. What happens when our cell works? There are a lot of metabolic activities takes place. In that, some waste materials are also produced. That waste materials must be removed from the body, otherwise they may create problem with the body. So the functioning of any system, there must be input and output. Input means the material which are required for the growth, development and maintenance of the body, and output is the things which are not necessary for the body, that must be released, and for that there is a system to remove the waste produced in our body, and that is the excretory system. In that, the main excretory organ in our body, that is kidney. Role of kidney: they are responsible for cleaning the blood by removing metabolic waste, excess solutes and excess water, and excreting them as urine. Besides removing urea, it also removes excess salts or glucose, the remnants of drugs and excess water. Why excretion is necessary? During metabolism, cells produced waste. Waste, any substance acquired or produced in excess with no function in body, are known as waste. For example, carbon dioxide, water, heat. All waste must be eliminated or at least maintained at low concentrations. Additionally, protein breakdowns leaves nitrogenous waste. Excess sodium, chlorine, potassium, sulfate, phosphate, functions of urinary system. First, filter blood and removes waste products from the body. Regulation of blood volume, pressure. Regulation of solute concentration of the blood, that is sodium, chlorine, potassium, calcium, phosphate. pH regulation of extracellular fluid. Regulation of RBC synthesis. Erythropoietin, vitamin D activation, then produces and eliminates urine. Kidneys produce the hormone erythropoietin, EPO, stimulates the production of red blood cells within the bone marrow. Kidney produce the enzyme renin, which is raising the blood pressure. See the urinary system. There are two kidneys present in our abdominal cavity, left and right. Two ureters are there, that is a tube-like structures which collects the urine from the kidney and then that is collected in the urinary bladder, and through the urethra that urine is released out from the body. Anatomy of the urinary system. See the position of kidney in our body. Primary organ of the urinary system is kidney, that is reddish brown bean-shaped organs located on either side of the vertebral column at back of upper abdominal cavity, located between 12th thoracic and 3rd lumbar vertebrae, partially protected by 11th and 12th ribs. Right kidney sits lower than the left kidney. Receives 20 to 25% of the resting cardiac output. Each kidney is approx 3 cm thick, 6 cm wide and 12 cm long. Lie in shallow depression against the posterior abdominal wall and behind the parietal peritoneum, that is retroperitoneal. If we cut the kidney, there are two parts. Outer layer is the cortex and the inner layer is the medulla. Cortex contains millions of nephrons. A nephron is the structural and functional unit of kidney. Medulla, that is the inner layer of kidney, consists of triangular tissues, renal pyramids, loops and collecting tubules of nephron located here. Pyramids extend into cup-like urine collection cavity called the minor calyx. Minor calyxes merge to form major calyx. Major calyx merge to form the renal pelvis. Nephron is also known as uriniferous tubule, and each kidney consists of about 1.2 million, that is 12 lakhs of nephrons. See the detailed structure of kidney: cortex, medulla, renal pyramid, renal lobe, renal columns, hilum, ureter, etc. Structures of the urinary system: ureter, muscular tubes lined with mucous membrane about 25 cm long. Urine is propelled from renal pelvis through ureters by peristalsis. Now see the urinary bladder, that is a hollow muscular sac in pelvic cavity located between pubic symphysis and rectum in men and pubic symphysis and uterus and vagina in women. Serves as a temporary reservoir to store urine. Resembles inverted pyramids when empty. Urinary bladder. The innermost lining of the urinary bladder is a mucous membrane layer. The second layer is called the submucosa. It contains elastic connective tissues, fiber. The third layer is the muscularis. The collection of smooth muscles is known as the detrusor muscles. Contraction of these muscles expels urine from the bladder. The outermost layer is dense connective tissue. Urethra. Thin walled tube conveys urine from bladder to external environment. Similar structure to ureter. Sphincters, internal urethral involuntary and external urethral voluntary. Male urethra 20 cm long. Transports both urine and semen. Internal urethral orifice opens at tip of penis. Female urethra 3 to 4 centimeter long. External urethral orifice opens just interior to the vaginal opening. Now see the structure of the urinary system. As I told you that nephron is the structure and function unit of kidney. Kidney consists of 1.2 million of nephron. Each nephron consists of 4 parts. Glomerulus, that is a ball-shaped collection of very tiny coiled and intertwined capillaries. Bowman's capsule, that is the renal capsule. Double-walled cup-like structure surrounds the glomerulus. Renal tubule, 3 parts are there: proximal convoluted tubule, PCT, loop of Henle, and distal convoluted tubule, that is the DCT. Then peritubular capillaries. In this diagram, the various parts of nephron is shown. Their internal structure, anatomy of the nephron is also shown in the figure. That Bowman's capsule, proximal convoluted tubule, then loop of Henle. Loop of Henle having the 2 arms, descending arms and ascending arms. Then distal convoluted tubule, then collecting duct. See the colorful picture of the Bowman's capsule and glomerulus, where the filtration of blood takes place. Proximal convoluted tubule, that is PCT, water, sodium, chlorine, glucose, amino acids, calcium, magnesium, potassium, micronutrients. Descending loop, water, chlorine, sodium. Ascending loop, chlorine, sodium. Distal convoluted tubule, water, sodium, chlorine, and bicarbonate. These are the molecules which is exchanged between the nephron and the interstitial fluid. Juxtamedullary apparatus monitors blood pressure and secretes renin. Is found from modified cells in the afferent arterioles and ascending loop of the nephron. The cells of the arteriole are called juxtamedullary cells, and cells of the loop are called macula densa. See the blood supply of the kidney. Renal artery branches inside the kidney, supplies the pyramid and the cortex. Renal artery divided into anterior and posterior division, passes across the pyramids and forms interlobular arteries, enters into glomerulus as different artery. The vessels coming out from glomerulus as efferent artery, divided as peritubular network, finally opens into renal veins. Renin, angiotensin, and aldosterone. Renin, these are the hormones secreted from kidney. Renin secreted by juxtamedullary cells of the blood pressure in different arteriole is low, or sodium of urine decreases as it passes the macula densa cells. Renin enters the general circulation via peritubular capillaries and activates angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1 angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2 via converting enzymes found in the plasma. Angiotensin 2 is a vasoconstrictor, act as a hypothalamus causing the sensation of thirst, salt appetite and ADH secretion. It also causes the secretion of aldosterone from the adrenal cortex. Aldosterone, steroid hormone, act as on the cells of nephron, especially those of the ascending loop and DCT, to reabsorb more sodium. Formation of urine. Process begins as the blood enters kidney via left and right renal artery. First step is the glomerular filtration. Blood in afferent arteries is under high pressure. Glomerulus act as a filter, filtrate the substances that is filtered from the blood into the renal tubule. Blood leaves the glomerulus through the efferent arteriole. Normal GFR, that is a 125 ml per minute. GFR, that is the glomerular filtration rate. Tubular reabsorption. As glomerular filtrate passes through the renal tubules, water, sugar and salts are returned to the bloodstream through the network of capillaries that surrounds them. Filtrate contains useful substances which are returned to the blood. Most occurs in the proximal convoluted tubule. Loop of Henle. Tissue around the loop of Henle is salty from active transport and diffusion of sodium chloride. The salty condition allows water to diffuse out of the loop. Tubular secretion. Materials are selectively transferred from blood into the filtrate to be excreted in the urine. Glomerular filtrate. Water, sugar, salts and nitrogenous waste products such as urea, creatinine and uric acids that filter out of the blood through the thin walls of the glomeruli. Substances moves from blood into the filtrate, important in controlling pH of blood. Collecting duct. More water leaves the tube by osmosis. Since the tube is surrounded by salty tissue, some urea leaves by diffusion and may be cycled through the system. See the various steps involved in the urine formation through this diagram.